So picture this. It's New Year's Day 2026. San Francisco is celebrating, right? But in the early hours of the morning, a call comes in from one of the city's most famous luxury hotels, and it brings a really tragic end to all the festivities. We're going to break down exactly what we know happened. So the big question is, right, what exactly happened at the Fairmont Hotel on New Year's Day? It sounds simple, but the details are just heartbreaking. Let's get into what we know so far, based on those first reports coming out of the historic Fairmont. All right, so this whole story kicks off with an early morning call. Let's look at how that initial emergency response played out. So, in the wee hours of January 1st, 2026, while the city's still buzzing from New Year's Eve, this urgent call for medical help comes in from the Fairmont. And that one call, well, it's what started this whole tragic discovery. And things moved fast. You can see here at 2:52 a.m., the SF Fire Department gets the call. It says shortly after, but we're talking minutes later, emergency crews are on the scene. But it was too late. After they did their assessment, one person was pronounced deceased right there. And this quote from a source reported by the Daily Mail, it really paints a picture of those frantic moments. A woman, described as being in her mid-30s, was found unresponsive. The hotel staff, they jumped in, they did CPR, but it wasn't enough. She was pronounced deceased right there. Okay, so this is where the story really blows up and gets national attention. And it's all because of who the victim was. Let's talk about that Hollywood family connection. So as the news starts breaking, police sources begin talking to the media, and they reveal the woman is believed to be Victoria Jones. Now, that's a name that has a pretty significant tie to Hollywood. And here's why that name is so well known. Victoria Jones, who was only 34, was the daughter of the Academy Award-winning actor Tommy Lee Jones. Her mother was a second wife, Kimberly Clogley, and she had an older brother, Austin. Now, this is a really important point. Even though police sources are the ones saying it's her, this isn't the official word just yet. That final formal identification, that has to come from the medical examiner's office. So for now, we're still waiting on that. Okay, so at this point, the situation completely shifts. It's no longer just a medical emergency. It's now a full-blown police investigation. So let's look at what the authorities are actually doing and what they've told us so far. And you can see it's not just one group involved. This is a multi-agency response. You've got the fire department who handled that first medical call, but now the SFPD and the medical examiner are the ones really leading the charge to figure out what happened. This right here, this is a standard step, but it's an absolutely critical one. The second someone is pronounced deceased, the whole scene is officially handed over to the police. It's their job now to investigate every little detail surrounding the death. And this might be the most significant detail that's come out from police sources so far. They're making it clear that, at this early stage, they do not suspect foul play was involved. That's a huge piece of the puzzle. So, the investigation is obviously still going on. Let's just take a breath and recap what we actually know for sure, and, maybe more importantly, what we don't know. All right, so let's break it down really simply. A woman was found deceased at the Fairmont in San Francisco on New Year's Day. Police sources have identified her as Victoria Jones, the 34-year-old daughter of Tommy Lee Jones. There's an official investigation happening right now, and importantly, those same sources say no foul play is suspected at this time. Which, of course, leaves us with the biggest unanswered question of all. What was the cause of death? Even if foul play isn't on the table, we still don't know why this happened. And that's the answer the medical examiner is working to find right now. The answer her family, and really everyone else is waiting for. Just an unbelievably tragic way to start a new year.